are back, baby. Okay, so let me refresh a little bit. Wow, 20,000 subscribers since I've been gone. 4 weeks. Thank you, first and foremost. That's just incredible to me. Why I was gone for 4 weeks? I actually took some time off to go ahead. I feel like I'm hunched down. Hold on, let me fix this shit. Alright, better. No, it's far away now. That's true. So I went ahead and created an online barber course. Now, it's not a barber course like how to cut hair or anything like that. I really wanted to dive deeper into something I'm more passionate about. I like teaching cutting hair, but of course, that's what I have YouTube for. I actually went ahead and created a course that really broke down how I go about hacking my social media in terms of how do I get my content always seen, how do I continuously beat the algorithm, as well as continually progressing with the content and not really getting stuck in kind of doing the same shit over and over again. I see a lot of barbers in the industry getting stuck in the same old content, not pushing their own brands, and they're not really progressing the way they want to. And they're great barbers too. I'm like, I'll be looking at some people's page, I'm like, damn, bro, your shit actually like way better than mine. If you actually knew the rules and could apply the stuff that I know to your game, I mean, you'll be years, like far beyond what I'm doing right now. This is not just for the experienced barbers though, like you'll find out later in the course. I really made this for anybody if you've never made content before, or if you have already been making content. I really just want to be able to give this out to really be able to take your guys' career to the next level and push you guys further with the social media. So why did it take me 4 weeks? It really was only gonna take me 2 weeks, but I procrastinated, and I was never the best student in high school. Honestly, I think my freshman year I had like a 1 point something GPA, or I don't even think I had a 1 something. I think I had a below. I don't know. I sucked, but I was terrible at finishing stuff on time in terms of like projects and shit like that. But I'll learn someday. We back though. Oh my God, we are back for Deluxe Sundays. Oh, it feels so good to be back here again, recording content. This is my boy Trevor coming in looking rough. As you're gonna come to find out, I do like to fuck around with Trevor. This is what my homies from like grade school area, I used to call him Sebastian because him and one of these other kids named Sebastian looked alike. So I still fuck around and like call him Sebastian, but we're just gonna clean up my dude. My dude hasn't gotten a haircut in a while. It's gonna be a nice little mid taper. That this first section area, I got terrible angles, but basically what I did first was take it down with a 3 guard to kind of get a base section of the taper area. Of course, balled them out and set in my first guideline. And then I still work with my same fading techniques with the Fade Masters. Just going close, halfway, then open, and then you're gonna see something new that I'm using in this video. I've actually switched over to my main clipper with the Wall cordless seniors, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, these ones are hitters. I cannot even believe how incredible of a clipper this is. This shit does everything that I would want a clipper to do. Now, I did have to change up my fading style. As most of you know, if you have seen a video of mine before, I usually fade going all the way up. With these ones, I fade down. So after I got that first guideline out, I started fading down with the 2 guard, the 1.5, the 1, and then I worked my way back up with the 0 guard, going all the way back up. Right now, I'm just going a lot of cleaning action. With these clippers, I feel very free. I feel almost like an artist, almost, because there's no notches on the sides, of course, with Walls, like they're on an Andis clipper. So I really just eyeball and really get a good feel for the hair. And whatever I see, I just kind of take down. Whatever I feel with the clipper, I take down. And that's what I really like about the Wall Seniors, and probably why I'm sticking with these for right now. Not only are they cordless, they're powerful and they get the job done. They get a nice crisp cut. So I just feel like I can see the whole hair instead of having to focus in on what I'm cutting. I really just feel the hair almost. Moving on to that back taper again, starting with that first guideline, balled them out, same steps. So I'm gonna take the Andis Fade Masters, closed, halfway open, about 3/4 inch. I'm gonna try and do a better job explaining what my process is. I just had to let y'all know. I switched over to the Wall Seniors because that's something new. So there you go. I'm gonna take a 3 guard, probably about like 2 inches up, where I really want the fade to kind of condense in, and then I try to flick it out as hard as I can, and that's where the shorter hair is gonna kind of transition to the longer hair. I like this technique that I've been doing. After I kind of work my way down to a 2 guard, I'll go with a 1 guard close to kind of get in that first little guideline for my 0 guard to bald out before I fade out with the 1 guard, and then I go back in with that 0 guard, work my way out and flick that line out. Right here I'm just doing clip over comb, kind of making sure all the curls on the back of the head are not kind of falling over that tapered area. I'm not trying to go too far in. When you're doing like a taper fade, especially on his curls, my boy got the curls banging, by the way, but whenever you got like curls on a client like this, you don't want to go too far in. I've made that mistake before, and you really want to just focus on cutting off the ends. If you cut off the chunk of the hair, you're gonna cut off too many curls, or that hair is gonna curl up inside, and the whole the whole silhouette of the hair of the head is just not gonna look good. It's gonna look lumpy, it's gonna look flat. You want to have this, you want to keep that silhouette intact, so really just focus on cutting off those ends. Of course, working my way around the ear, because he has such longer hair and we're just focusing on the tapers, I do take down that hair around the ears just a little bit, but I want to keep it as dark as possible. I kind of freehand it, and I don't want to push up that line, so I'm going to be combing out a lot behind that ear to get any hair that wants to kind of hide back in. Here's a little bit better angle of that taper. So like I said, I'm going to start with my balding, a mid taper kind of going at the very top of the ear, bald it out, set in that first guideline, and then I think I kind of just skipped past this real quick, so I didn't really get that too good of footage. Remember, this is my first video back. give me a little break. I promise I'm gonna get back into this flow. But you know, just going back over the cut, and what I like to do with the Wall seniors a lot is I like to I mean, they're just, it just feels good to clean up with them. You know, like doing any freehand work like you're seeing that I'm gonna do on the curls. It's just very free. I don't have a cord holding me down or hold me back. They do hold power for a while too, so I will give it an A+ on that. Moving on to the hairline now, I've gotten away from taking a guard on the hairline. I feel like sometimes that takes that front hairline down too much, or you can make it a little too choppy. So I go in with my comb and my clipper, and kind of just take off the end so it gets it short, but it doesn't make too fat of an indent there. And then I'm gonna whip out the rose gold Babyliss trimmers. These are actually new addition to my arsenal as well. I'm still having a couple mixed feelings about these clippers. Honestly, for darker hair, well, I shouldn't say darker hair. For longer hair that you're cutting, these clippers are great. They're powerful. They're smooth. They cut through hair like really easy. They cut through bulk hair, and make that whole process completely easy. What I will say though is shorter hair, like around that little arch area on the taper, those are not the go-to clippers. I would still go with the T-outliner clippers, or something a little bit sharper, as those do not get that nice crisp line on shorter hair. But anything a little bit longer and darker in terms of density, those trimmers do hit well. Now moving on to the taper on that beard. You know, I'm just gonna keep it nice and short. I kind of blended in a little bit. I didn't keep it, I kept it around the ear area though. I made sure to not make it into a beard fade. Then moving on to that neck area, of course, I want to keep his jaw structure intact and make the beard kind of agree and look good and complement his facial features. So I don't try to push it up too high. I don't try to keep it too low. I try to make it look as if I'm drawing another jawline on him and making a sharp jawline effect. Then moving on to the actual beard line, what I've been doing recently is just a guideline for myself. Is like literally drawing the line at which I'm about to make with my finger, and kind of almost have a good picture of what I'm about to do. Sometimes I catch myself, I'm going too fast. I'll just hop right into the you know, lining up the beard, and you know, I don't have a good idea of where I'm going. If I at least set that little pre-angle up with my finger and kind of mentally see it, I feel like I have a better, I always have a little bit better idea of what the hell I'm actually doing. And as you can see right there, after I straight razor, that's sauce, big sauce, yeah. And then you know, go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. And then I did forget to mention, I did take that down with the beard with, I think it was a 2 guard with the grain, just to lay down all the hairs. So you guys are going to see me apply hair fibers a little bit after this process. What I do want to touch on real quickly is the course I have dropping tomorrow. So some of you might have some questions about it, like, well, it's a social media course, but I'm already doing social media, so why would I even need this to help me out, Deluxe? Well, the reason why I created this course is because I get countless messages every single day of people asking me not only how I create my content, but why does my content hit and theirs doesn't. I think that was a big question for me starting out doing social media, as well as I see all these bigger profiles doing crazy numbers with views, people liking all their content, interactions, getting all these followers, gaining influence. And I thought to myself, well, wait a second, those big profiles were once small at one point. They weren't able to create the content they're doing right now, so that gives me a chance to be able to get to where they're at, because that's actually what I wanted. Also, I wanted to be able to create good content like all those guys are doing. So it took me a little while. It took me about 2 years to create the exact formula and get it down to an exact science of why those big profiles hit and how to make your profile and how to make your content hit. Now, this isn't just something where I kind of just show you how to create a video and post at certain times. This course that I created is literally the ideology and formula and theory of how I attack my Instagram to make it to be able to really honestly sidestep any algorithm horror stories that you may think. People always want to blame the algorithm as to why their content's not getting seen. I'll just debunk that right now and give you the first key of my course. It is not the algorithm, it's the content that you're putting out. And in my course, I'm going to show you what you need to be doing with not only your content, but what you need to be doing in terms of learning, and whatever you want, you can get out of this course. And I really made sure I didn't just have it one area. I want to make it well-rounded for literally anybody, whether you started creating content yesterday or you've been creating content, been getting views and good numbers on followers, but want to increase that and take that to the next level. This is going to be the perfect course to not only start but to thrive continuously long-term with your brand. So I will have that available for you guys tomorrow. After tomorrow, of course, I will post the link down below in the description, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. I will have a little promo video with more information. But that wraps up the end of this tutorial. Of course, a nice little mid taper fade, super sharp. I got the hair fibers on fleek, his hairline on fleek, the curls, we trimmed them down perfectly. So hope you guys appreciated my welcome back to Deluxe Sundays. Keep a lookout for next week's video. I'm out, y'all.